Five, four, three, two, one.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday. Y'all, we got this storm coming, this winter storm. And literally, as I'm just about to go live, my aunt texts me and she's like, you know how the folks do. Make sure you prepare for the storm. Make sure you got water. Make sure da da da. Why my aunt just said, and mind you, my aunt is young, okay? When I was born, she was a kid. We're close in age. She's young now. She ain't no great aunt. She ain't old. I gotta preface this. She gonna tell me the pipes might freeze, and you need to make sure your pipes don't freeze so you can flush the commode. I'm like, commode? That's commode. And so she's like, that means that's a toilet. I'm like, I know what commode means because I had a great grandmother. Well, two. But I'm like, who says commode if you're not like 100 years old? Like, I don't know. That just, I'm sorry, y'all ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But I literally was just texting her right before going live, and I'm just like, who says commode? Like, my God. Anyway, we are here to finish the 2025 wrap up. just We're finishing the 2025 wrap up. Anakin, thank you so much for being here in the live. Pretty girl Danny, thank you so much for being here in the live. Shout out to you. We are here because we pretty much did not we pretty much did. We did the top horror movies of 2025. That was a live. If you haven't seen it, check out the replay. I also uploaded a video of all of the new 2025 watches, worst to best, that I saw last year. So now I am going to do a tier list ranking of all of my first time watches from 2025 of like old movies, not 2024. I mean, not 2025 releases. So all of the first time watches of movies that I finally got around to. And I was going to do another upload for this like I did for the 2025 watches. But then when it came time to have to rank those bottom tier half star, 1 star movies, it's so hard to put them. I was like, child, let me just do a tier list because I ain't got time to be trying to, rank the best of the worst. So that's what we are doing. We're not going to be here all day, even though we do have a lot of movies. We have 115 movies, I think, that we're ranking. Baby, we finna just get through it. We finna get through it. We finna get through it. We're not going to be here all night because a storms are coming, and I got to get my dog out. The snow is supposed to be coming, and I got to get my dog out so she can relieve herself before we go to bed, before the snow comes. Because I got a little chihuahua, and she act real uppity when it comes to that. She don't be wanting to go out there when there's no snow or nothing, child. So we're not going to be here. We're not going to be here all night. Beloved Reviews, thank you so much for being here in the live. Shout out to you. Dang C, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here in the live. So let's go ahead and look at our tiers. So these are our tiers that we're ranking the movies from the top. Of course, top is always the best, through the bottom, which is always the worst. So at the very top, we have I Was a Fool to Wait, Sweet Delight, Sweet Suffering, the mid-tier type of movies, Go Back on the Shelf, and then Wish I Could Go Back and just have never seen the damn movie. So this is our movies. We have 115. Child, my aunt is still. And when I tell my aunt be so dramatic. When I used to live in Florida and my aunt was up here, she would always be texting, "Oh my God, it's a hurricane. Are you prepared?" I used to be like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Like, calm down." Now that both of us live in Tennessee, now it's the meteorologist is saying this is the worst winter we've ever seen. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know. I'm not that person, and it's so crazy. I'm not that person because I am a very melodramatic, like panicky person. But for some reason, when it comes to weather and Mother Nature, I just be like, I'm not saying be foolish, but I'm not finna like go. I can't, like, that's Mother Nature. Like, and then I gotta, y'all, we can't even get into it because one of my people swear that the government got a weather machine and be controlling all this, and I ain't got time for that, child. But anyway, let's get into the first time watches from last year. We are going to go ahead and rank everything. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Them little bottom tier, half star, 1-star movies, the stuff that ranked really low. I might have to look them up because I'm gonna be like, what the hell was that movie? I might not even be able to really, remember. But usually when we do a big ranking like this, I'm normally really good at being able to remember the movies. But I hope there are some Disney rom-coms on this list. I don't know who channel you think you on, Dane. So let's get started. This is actually one of the last movies that I saw in 2025. I saw this towards the end of December. It is Baskin. I think it was this is a Turkish horror film about some cops who end up getting called to go help another precinct. But once they arrive at the precinct, ish hits the fan. It is a really, y'all, this had to be the most batshit crazy horror movie I've ever seen in my life. Also a little discombobulated with the writing because the movie starts and I'm just like, baby, what are we doing? What's the plot? And even as we get in the thick of things, and it was fly. I was still like, what's the point? What's the plot? What are we doing? But then we realize what's actually going on. I don't want to spoil it. But I'm going to put this at the top. I was a fool to wait. Baskin has to be the trippiest, like craziest, gore fest, just bonkers movie I've seen in a really long time. And shout out to them for the villain in there. When I tell y'all, this villain, I couldn't even stomach looking at the villain on the screen. Like, that's how, like, disgust. Like, you have, like, I couldn't take it. Dane, thank you so much for the super sticker. Shout out to you, Dane. Thank you. I'd rather have everything I need to be okay and be prepared than to not take it seriously and be suffering. But see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know how to, like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm a girl. Y'all, this cat is a demon. I don't know. Like, I feel like being a Floridian, hurricane season comes every year. And yes, hurricanes are devastating. Yes, you're supposed to be prepared. But I'd be like what am I supposed to, like, I kind of feel like if you choose to live in like a place that's known for certain things like that, I don't know, like I'm not gonna be panicky. I'm just not. Like, if I live in a place that get tornadoes, I'm not gonna panic every single time it's tornado watch. Like, move, bitch. Like, don't live there. Like, so I just kind of feel what can I do? I got a winter coat. I got some water. My building said they got a generator. Like, why would I, like, what would panicking get me? Like, there's no reason for me to panic. Like, if some shit does hit the fan, panicking wouldn't solve that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just be kind of like, I'm gonna just go where the wind blow me, child, literally. Next we have Sweet Virginia. This was probably one of my biggest, girl, if you don't, y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all, this little kitten, like, she's insane. And she be messing with my hair like it's a kitten toy. She's always swiping at my hair. But let's try to get through this. I feel like we off to a rocky start. Let's try to get through this. Sweet Virginia stars John Berthenel, Christopher Abbott. It's a story about a hitman who ends up befriending the owner of this hotel where he's staying, and eventually their paths collide. Very let down because this movie masquerades like it's supposed to be an action movie. Like, I was like, oh shoot, like a hitman, and then I'm thinking it's gonna be action, it's gonna be intense. This is a very, very, very slowly paced, like, drama that involves a hitman. Like, there's no action. Then the last little 5 minutes when they kind of really come head to head, I guess it's supposed to be is like a bit of some kind of action, child. But I think this was the biggest disappointment I've ever had from John Berthenel. And I'm gonna put this down here and go back on the shelf. Like, I'm glad I saw it because I got to see the two attractive actors, but I ain't really getting nothing out of this. But you know what though? Christopher Abbott did really good as the hitman. I was really into his performance. It was very, like, unemotional and cold and, like, weird. And it was different things he would say to people where you didn't know if he was lying or not. Like, he tells John Berthenel's character, a story about his dad. And I'm like, wait, is that true? So I like that aspect. That was probably the best part. Next, we have Jericho Ridge. And this is a movie I'm so mad. My watch list is always so long that, and especially because I don't watch trailers, sometimes I can't even remember the movies that I plan to watch. Jericho Ridge is a movie that came out, I think in like 2024, that was on my watch list that I completely forgot about. And it just so happened to have been streaming on Tubi. Jericho Ridge is a story about a cop in a small town who's alone at the police station when a horde of like gangsters come and converge on the police station, and she has to fight for her life by herself against all these thugs. And y'all, do I have to be a broken record? If you've been on this channel, you know the number one thing I love is a stuck in one location fighting for your life scenario. And the lead is a black woman. We really don't ever see like that with this, sector. So I was actually very, very, very pleasant. I don't even know if I would say pleasantly surprised because I really wanted to see it, but this was good. I thought it was just going to be a mid-level, generic, no-name movie. You know what I mean? Where you don't know nobody in the movie. Like, it's just some little no-name thing. This was actually really, really solid. I'm going to put this up in Sweet Delight. I had a lot of fun with this. And I also feel like I like the way they did it. Because typically with a movie like this, you kind of got to suspend some belief, right? It's kind of like that Netflix movies that came out a couple years ago, Nowhere, with the pregnant lady who's like stuck in a shipping container. I love that movie, but you got to suspend a lot of belief. I thought Jericho Ridge did really well. You don't really have to suspend a lot of belief. The way she's able to survive and fight these people and get through everything, it actually comes across very realistic. And I like the way they did that. Next, we have I Saw the TV Globe. This is my proverbial watch of a movie that a lot of people are talking about that's not really my cup of tea, but I always have to just go watch like the hype movie and be like, okay, let me see this for myself. Let me see what's up with this. I Saw the TV Globe is like a horror drama coming of age movie about, I don't even know how to tell you what it's about. Okay, no, I do know how to say. It's like these two teens and they watch this TV show and then they be feeling like the TV show real or something when they grow up. It's a very abstract, artsy, weird, I want to say pretentious kind of film. I love this movie aesthetically, visually, sonically, great music. It was okay. It was okay. Everybody said that the movie has some. It's like the movie is about being trans. I don't know if I'm an idiot and I'm just dense. I didn't get that. I mean, the little boy puts on a dress like one time in the movie, but that didn't scream trans to me. This was okay. I'm gonna put this down here in the middle tier. It's definitely worth the watch if you're like a cinephile and like you really love like the technical aspects of a film. What's this little girl doing? I hear her doing some kind of ruckus. Why did I get a cat? Not panicking, but just preparing and got water. I got everything I need. I don't need no flash. What I need flashlight for? What am I doing? I'm not finna go out in the wilderness. Why do I need a flashlight? No, I have everything I need. I don't have no flashlight. I don't need no flashlight. Equalizer, thank you so much for being here in the live. Nikki, this live just came up out of nowhere. Glad it did. Shout out to the YouTube alerting people once in a blue moon, child. There might be zombies, enough reason to panic. Well, panicking before the zombies come will not help you with the zombies. So my sentiment still stands. Panicking ain't never helped nobody. Matter of fact, if you watch enough movies, you would know panicking is the first thing get you killed. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Glad you named that movie Nowhere. Again, I will watch it tonight. I love that movie. I did a review on that movie. I had a lot of fun. But that's my type of movie. Trust me, it's very unrealistic. You got to suspend a lot of belief. But I had a lot of fun with it. How you found out about this movie's Twitter? No, the way I find out about movies is I know everybody named Mama always talks about Rotten Tomatoes. I've never been on that site a day in my life. My site is IMDb. I've had a profile on there for a while. That's where I see all the upcoming movies, and I keep like a running, huge, massive watch list. So that's typically how I find out about movies, is on IMDb. Why you always lying, Dane? I need that little meme with the little black kid singing to the next song, Why You Lying? Because Dane, please. Dane, please. Next, we have Possum. If I'm not, oh no, I was finna lie. No, that's not this filmmaker. Okay, I was finna say this is the film from the guy who did Oddity, but no, that was a different one. Possum is a horror film. I don't even know how to say what this movie is about, because this is another artsy, abstract kind of film where the guy who I really love, who played a Mission Impossible villain, is the protagonist here, and he's like I think he makes puppets or something for kids, and he like goes back home and he keeps saying this poem about a possum the whole movie, and he keeps saying this possum, but I was like, that's not a possum though, like that don't look like the animal y'all, the movie is weird. I love that actor's voice. There was some stuff technically that I liked about this film. Honestly, I don't remember really enjoying it though. Let me run real quick and see what I gave this on Letterboxd. I don't remember like really enjoying it. Yeah, I gave this a 2, and that's probably because of the technical aspects. But I feel like my biggest question is the thing that's haunting him that they're calling a possum. It isn't a possum. Like, I don't. This poster is probably too small on the screen for y'all to see, but don't it look like a spider? Like, it isn't a possum. I'm gonna put this mid tier where I Saw the TV Globe, where it's also, to me, I Saw the TV Globe, Possum. They're the type of films that, like, if you're a film fan, I think it's worth the watch just to have the experience. But I wouldn't necessarily say it was enjoyable, entertaining type of watch, if that makes sense. Chronos. And you know what? Chronos is coming in at a good spot when I was just saying that. Like a movie like Chronos, it's the type of movie I watch as a film fan. Because, you know, there's certain movies where it's like, okay, if you're a fan or a cinephile or a movie buff, there's just certain movies that you got to check off your list. Like, it's certain movies for you to watch that may not be entertaining to you per se, but you get other things out of it on like a technical scale. Chronos is Guillermo del Toro's feature film debut. It stars Ron Perlman, and it is about, it's like a different take on vampirism, where this antique shop owner comes across this thing that someone else has been like searching for decades or something, and it slowly like transform him in the sense of like a disease. It's like, but it's like vampirism. It was okay. It was okay. It didn't suck. It is like a Spanish film. I think the whole movie was in Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, no, not the whole movie, because Ron Perlman couldn't really like speak Spanish. He spoke like broken Spanish sometimes, but a lot of the movie is in Spanish. I think they're in like a Spanish country in the movie. But anyway, Ron Perlman was honestly the best part about the movie. I really enjoyed him, his character, how he played it. I do like the world that Guillermo del Toro created here. I like the take on vampirism. I just wasn't a big fan. I'm gonna put this middle of the road as well. Worth the watch just to like watch it, but I wasn't very entertained. But I did have, honestly, I had more fun with Chronos than I did with Possum. But I would put them in the same little tier. Is everybody getting a winter storm? Y'all, I'm out of touch. I don't know. I didn't even know we was getting a winter storm until my mama messaged me telling me, y'all, a winter storm is coming. Be prepared. I was like, oh, a storm. Child, I don't know. Is everybody getting a storm? Is everybody getting a storm? I don't know what's happening. Next we have, I don't know how you pronounce this, Harosa, the Bone Woman. This is a foreign horror film that is a take on pregnancy. You have this woman who was like a rebel type of character. She's gay, but she decides to not be her real self and just go the traditional route, and she changes her appearance, she marries a man, she goes to have a baby, trying to live that type of life. And it is a really effective like body horror, but I wasn't the biggest fan. I feel like we started off so good with Baskin and Jericho Ridge, but everything since then we have just gone downhill. Let me see what I gave this on Letterboxd. I feel like I might have given this like a 2.5. I don't see me having given this a 3. Yeah, I gave it a 2. I guess I'll put this in the middle. I won't say go back on the shelf. I do think it was enjoyable. Yeah. I saw the dang, oh shoot, what's this movie called? Oh Lord, what is this movie called? What is that Jennifer Lawrence movie? The Mockingjay. I can't see it because the little icon is too small. What is the Mockingjay movie? I know y'all know. The Mockingjay, Girl on Fire, that whole movie. I went to finally see it. I actually sat down to finally watch the entire franchise, but I saw the first movie and I was like, okay, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype at all. I'm going to put this down here and go back on the shelf. I could have went my whole life without seeing that. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Dane. The Hunger Games. I could not for the life of me think of the name of the movie, and I can't see it on the little movie poster icon. The Hunger Games. Yes, I saw the very first Hunger Games movie, and yeah, I was like, never mind on seeing the whole franchise. I said, never mind. Well-made movie, but just not for me. I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't. Next we have Awoken, which is literally just a piece of crap movie about the sleep study, the boy having problems sleeping or whatever, and then mayhem and Child while we in this facility trying to do a sleep test on some people with sleep issues. Wish I could go back and have never seen that movie. Next, we have The G, which is about these people who pull like this scam, which apparently is real, and it's so sad. Like, what the heck? So these people pull this scam where, without the elderly person even being aware, they're able to go to court and become an elderly person's legal guardian, force them into a nursing home, and take all of their money, their property, assets, everything. And it happens to this old woman and her husband, even though they have a son and a granddaughter and family. I don't understand how this can happen, but according to the movie, this happens in real life. But the grandma they mess with, come to find out, she a gangster. She hardcore. She was in the mob back in the day. So they messing with the wrong granny. This was, and you know what? I was, you know what? I just thought about something. I was so mad because I paid to rent The G, and then a few months later, I saw it was free on Tubi. Oh, it's nothing worse than when you pay to rent a movie and then that will pop up free on another streaming site. Oh, that pissed me off. This movie sounds way more exciting than it was. And the weird thing with this movie, it was a lot of feet shots. I was like, why y'all keep showing us people's feet? Like, what the fuck is going on? Especially the little granddaughter. I don't know what was with the director, kept showing us that little girl feet. But it was okay, but very predictable. You could see it was like certain twists and certain I don't want to give it away. Just like certain things that unfolds that was very easy to see. I'm gonna put this in and go back on the shelf. Oh, I hate to do that to The G. I was so hyped to see that movie. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be really good. I love seeing like a movie that centers on an older character. Like, we don't get that a lot, especially when it's like a badass older character. But next we have, what the fuck is this? What is this movie poster? Oh, this is the aggression scale. Y'all, it do not be easy trying to remember these goddamn movie posters and remember the movie I saw when I done saw it a year ago. This is the aggression scale. The aggression scale is about a woman and a man. They both have a child. The woman has a teen daughter. The man has a child, a young son. That the adults get married, so now the kids are step siblings. We moved to a new house, a new town, but the dumbass dad and mom stole money from a mobster. If you steal money from a mobster, my nigga, you have to go to another country. You don't go one county over. So of course the mob come back, try to get the money, bust up at the house, and it's like a home invasion style movie, but the kid, the little boy, is a sociopath, and he go kill, the bad guys off one by one. Kind of like that movie Becky with the little white girl, if you saw that one. This was okay. It was alright. It wasn't, honestly, it sounds more exciting than, again, it's like these movies be having like a real cool premise that you think finna be real fly. And the teenage daughter, oh god, they wrote her like oh god, she was so stupid and so annoying. Got on my damn nerves. I kind of want to say go back on the shelf. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna put that in go back on the shelf. I kind of hate, like, it was okay. Like, it didn't suck. You know what? It was better than Sweet Virginia and Hunger Games and The G. I'm gonna put it, you know what? I'm gonna put it mid tier because it was cool. The villain characters were good. Seeing the little boy effing these people up, like the action with that was good. It didn't suck. Yeah, I'm gonna put it mid tier. It's better than the other ones down there. I ain't gonna do the movie like that. No, it was called The Hunger Games. I just saw the first one. Yeah, storm starting in Texas and making its way up the East Coast. I believe we had like 15 JA trucks. Oh, dang, leaving Jayville, getting prepared to help. I hope everyone stays safe and off the roads. Next, we have Apostle. This is a horror movie, like a horror drama about with Dan Stevens, where it's set like a period piece way back in the day, where his sister is missing, and I think she was able to get word to them or something, to the dad, or either, I don't know, some kind of way they find out that the sister is being held against her will on this island that's like a cult, and they're holding her. The dad is a punk and ain't gonna do nothing about it. So the brother decides to go, pretend like he's there to, like he believes in the cult little religion, but he's really there to try to help his sister. This was a letdown. I've been wanting to see this movie for a few years. It was alright. It wasn't nothing to really write home about. I'm gonna put it in the mid tier. Next we have Deliver Us from Evil. This is an Asian action film about, you have this hitman who's, I forget what he was trying to do. He was trying to do something, but he had this psycho. At the top of the movie, he kills somebody. Then he go on to do some other mission. I can't remember that mission. But while he's on this mission, the brother of the person that they open the movie with him killing is trying to kill him. The villainous guy that's trying to avenge his brother, he was insane. Oh my God, loved his character. And it was so crazy because it was like a wow. Movies kind of, time jump. So he kills the brother at the top of the movie, but time passed. And he is literally doing so much crazy stuff to try to get this dude and get revenge. You know how you gotta like kill innocent people, and somebody asked him like, why you want to kill this guy so bad? He talking about, man, I've been trying to kill him so long, I don't even remember why I'm trying to kill him. I don't know. I really like this movie. This movie's good. I love, oh my God, such good action, good fighting, great characters, and it actually had a pretty shocking ending because them Asians, whether it's Japanese or Korean film, they gonna do something to like try to rip your guts out and really give you something and pull the rug from under you. This was good. I'm gonna put this up in Sweet Delight. That was a good one. Finally, we get to a good one. Oh, now we back. It was fun while it lasted. Saint Maud is, I don't even know. You know what? I try to get out my box. I was just gonna say I don't even know why I give movies like this a chance, but I be hoping it surprised me. Saint Maud is kind of like Possum, where it's another one of those artsy, hoity-toity type of horror films. It's the religious angle. I love religious horror. I don't care how overdone it is. And I actually feel like it was done in a really unique way here, where you have this young girl who is like a home health nerd caretaker, but she's like uber religious to the point that there's a scene where like she sins. So she puts these like, it's a picture of Jesus, and she puts these like nails through the picture and puts it in her shoe and walks around with them nails stabbing into her foot. I was like, oh my God. Very odd movie, very weird. I was like, I don't get this. What is, like, this is odd. For example, she's super uber religious, but she goes out and has random sexual encounters with men. And not even like has sex with men. Like she'll just do sexual things with random men. And she doesn't even look happy when she does it. It's very weird. And then there's a scene where she's doing something sexual with the guy, but then she starts having a vision. So now she doesn't want to do it, but he has sex with her anyway. Like, it's really weird. Like, it's pretty much grape, but the movie doesn't frame it. The movie is weird. The movie is weird. You know what? I want to put it and go back on the shelf. But I'm gonna put it up here mid-tier because I'm gonna put it in the same realm of Possum, Chronos, like those movies that is well made on a technical scale. Those movies that if you're a horror fan or a film fan, I think is worth watching. And also, I'm just not the person that likes weird. So if you like weird, this might work for you. It ends weird. The girl is weird. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. Nikki, when you get a chance, watch the movie Gloria, the original with Gina Rollins and her husband, directed by John Cassavetes. Would love to know what you think about that movie. Gloria. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Let me see. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is see the genre, child. Because, you know, it ain't. Okay, you said the original. So I'm guessing Gloria 1980. Who did you say was in here? Gina Rollins. Yep, this is Hey, this is on my watch list. It's streaming on Tubi. I had no idea. Okay, I'm gonna watch that. It is already on my watch list. I don't know how I came across it because you saying it, I didn't feel like I ain't never heard that in my life. But that's why I love IMDb and I love keeping my long watch list going because I come across or hear about movies and I just jot it on my watch list, but then I forget about them. But hey, I'll be watching that. I saw every Hunger Game out there. Okay, I guess you. I've never cared about those. The only teeny bopper stuff, that YA stuff that I cared about was Maze Runner and Divergent. I ain't never cared nothing about the Hunger Games. All do not forget, like and subscribe. You will have fun on this channel. Thank you so much, Equalizer. Next, we have Run, Hide, Fight. When I tell y'all, I have been trying to watch Run, Hide, Fight for like 100 years. I'm exaggerating, probably about 4 years. The movie came out. So Run, Hide, Fight is a movie that's kind of like, I'm going to say it's like Die Hard, but a teenage girl. And it's about a school shooting. Y'all, I guess a school shooting ended up happening around the time the movie post came out. Child, they buried this movie. I have been trying to find this movie for ages. And I was like, what in the world? It's always a school shooting. Y'all should have known that when y'all greenlit the movie. But they buried this movie. But I was finally able to watch it. and God was it a disappointment. The movie drags. You would think something like I said, it gives high school Die Hard vibes. It dragged. I get the commentary the movie was going for, and maybe the school system and the way stuff is set up for a school shooting, maybe it really is this stupid and inept, but that made the viewing experience not so fun, because I was like, oh, these adults are too stupid. Oh, the systems in place for this school shooting is too fucking like idiotic. Like it was so dumb. I couldn't take it. I'm gonna have to put this down and wish I could go back and just have never seen the movie. And that really hurts my heart, because I wanted to see this movie so bad for a couple years. Next, we have Anything for Jackson. This is like a horror drama about a elderly couple who their grandson was killed. So they have a plan to use, I guess you would call it witchcraft, or some kind of like witchcrafty deal with the devil, to kidnap and hold this pregnant woman hostage, and they're going to use the witchcraft devil stuff to make her baby their grandson. It was okay. Pretty slowly paced, and even though that's not my style, I still kind of enjoyed this. I'm gonna put this mid tier. It's definitely worth the watch. I had a good time with it, even though it was slower than I would like. Now we have Drive with Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan. I really don't like Carey Mulligan. I don't care for her. I really didn't like this movie. This movie actively annoyed me because it's so slow. Like, and I don't mean slow like pacing. I mean like literally the characters move slow. Like they'll literally just be moving. I say literally a lot. They will be moving. They'll just be staring at each other. And then Ryan Gosling will move his head real slow. And I was sitting and watching the movie like, can y'all like move? Can y'all, like, they would move really slow. They're like standing in the elevator, and the scene, like, we're just sitting. We're just sitting. And I'm all for, like, I love sitting in a moment in a movie, but it was like too much. I was like, child, get the fuck out of here. We did have one or two scenes that were really good, but overall, wish I could go back, and I've never seen this movie on, like, child, get me out of here. You know what? Because of those two really good scenes, I won't say that. I'll put it in Go Back on the Shelf. The next one is so out of place. Uncharted with Mark Wahlberg. Please don't ask me what cocaine I was sniffing to even watch this movie. This is so not even nothing I would watch. But I didn't think it would be great and I would be blown away, but I thought I would have some fun with it. I thought Uncharted was going to be like a fun watch. You have it's like a treasure hunt type of thing going on. Oh God, this movie was bad. This movie was really bad. It wasn't funny. I'm guessing that Mark Wahlberg and the other little boy, Zendaya boyfriend, was supposed to be like charming. No, they weren't. And it's so crazy because I watched the movie and then I saw the preview, and the preview was more fun than the movie. I'm gonna put this in. Wish I could go back and have never seen it. Like, please give me my life back. Give me my time back. I am astounded at how bad Uncharted was. Atomic Blonde with my girl Charlize Theron. Love her. This movie sucks. And it's a shame this movie sucks because Charlize Theron, it was born to be an action star. This movie literally has some of the greatest, most badass fight scenes I've ever seen. And I'm a huge, huge action fan. I love fight scenes. This was blown away. So good. Movie sucked. Movie was terrible. Writing was horrid. I was like, get me out of here. But them fight scenes though, I'm gonna put it mid tier for those fight scenes alone. Now we have a foreign film, No Tears for the Dead. This is about a hitman who accidentally kills this woman's little girl. And I can't remember why people were after her, but he was saving her as well. But she didn't know he was the one who killed her daughter. So really good movie. And you know what I really liked about this? It was a good action movie. And it wasn't great. You know, I wasn't blown. If I remember correctly, I think I might have given this like a 3. It wasn't even like a 4. Let me check. Okay, I gave it a 3.5. The action was really good. It was a bit flawed, but what I really, really loved about No Tears for the Dead is that there was a real heart to the movie, and I'm a sucker for like a heart to the film. Like there's this thing throughout the movie of like the way the assassin was as a little boy with the kind of deadbeat, terrible mama he had. Like it was like a boys don't cry, toughen up kind of mentality, but he was actually like sensitive. Like I don't know, it had a real good heart and message to it. Like I don't know, men need to cry, child. Like I don't know, it got me. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna put it up here in Sweet Delight. It's nowhere near as good as Deliver Us from Evil and Jericho Ridge, but the action, it's good. It's really good. Below Zero. This is a foreign film about some cops that are transporting some prisoners in like a truck, and it's like freezing below weather or something, and they get attacked. Somebody trying to like kill them, and we gotta like fight to survive. And like you a cop, and then you gotta kind of work with the prisoners, and you don't know if you can trust them and all kind of stuff. It was alright. It was okay. It had its moments. I'm gonna put it mid tier. Jerry Maguire. Child, I saw Jerry Maguire for the first time to show me the money. What I tell y'all, I saw Jerry Maguire and I said, is this the film that y'all were watching and saying, I want to love like that? I want to fall in love like that. Baby, was this the standard? Because Houseway, I thought this was literally the worst love story I've ever seen in my life. Like the actual love story between, what's that white lady? The white lady and Tom Cruise. I thought that was the worst love story I ever saw in my life. And then the movie ends, and I'm like, I'm still not convinced he loved her. What I loved about this, the only part I liked, was the relationship and the arc between Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character and Tom Cruise. That was the love story, the friendship story. That was the story I liked. And I felt like the movie did a really good job of like showing the arc of how Tom Cruise changes as an agent and as a person. And it's crazy because I felt like his relationship with Cuba Gooding Jr. actually mirrored his relationship with the white lady, because I feel like he was just with that white lady because she was around and she had a vagina. Like there was no bar. He just wanted a woman. Like he just wanted anybody. And you get the same thing with him and Cuba Gooding Jr., where that's literally his only client. But it gets to a point where you can actually see an arc and see a change with him and their dynamic, the relationship, how he is as a person. You actively see that and have examples of it with him and Cuba Gooding Jr. I ain't seen none of that with that white lady. And I thought they had terrible chemistry. I didn't buy that they liked each other, loved each other. I was like, this is what y'all was watching? While I was watching horror movies, y'all was watching this and saying, I want to love like that. No, baby, I don't want to love nothing like they had. Get that love away from me. I'm going to put this mid tier. It didn't suck. I mean, it kind of sucked. It kind of sucked. But the thing that held it was Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tom Cruise, their storyline. And also, as someone who loves Tom Cruise and has seen a ton of Tom Cruise movies, I'm so shocked Tom Cruise did Jerry Maguire. I thought that movie was a humiliation ritual. I was cringing and embarrassed for Tom Cruise the whole damn movie. It kept being like embarrassing moments with his character. And I was just like, oh my God, Tom, why did you agree to this? But hey, it's a famous movie, Chad. We need a Tubi Hood Movies originals tier list. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say to that. Nikki will be doing another watch party of a movie. I did enjoy the last one. Others will as well. I said I wasn't doing no more watch parties, no more watch alongs. There's a Ryan Gosling movie coming out that people say they look most forward to. It's a sci-fi movie. Yeah, it's on my watch list. I'm not necessarily like excited or looking forward to it, but it's on my watch list. It's one of those movies where I feel like I'll get around to it. Like I'm not running to see it. I'll get around to it. Uncharted is a popular game. You know what? That's probably why the movie sucked. I don't know why they can't ever do good with video game movies. Even though there's quite a few that I do like. What is your next film project? Um uh my next film project, I don't know. I have like a plan A, plan B, plan C. So currently I submitted apples to a couple film festivals, even though I probably got a shot in the hell of getting in. I'm hoping I get in. And so I am currently writing three different scripts right now, and I would like to be able to like get investors and get funding, and my next film project would be a feature film. But if that doesn't work out, then my next plan is to just do another short film, and of course try to get funding for a short film. With I'm hoping a budget of at least 10,000 for a short film. But yeah, I know Deliver Us from Evil as the movie starring David. No, 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 no. Not that Deliver Us from Evil. This is an Asian action film, Deliver Us from Evil. I know what movie you're talking about. I like that movie. I saw it in theaters when it came out. But no, this is something different. Oh, that was something else. You Complete Me, You Had Me at Hello Show Me. When I went in to see this, obviously Jerry Maguire is a famous movie. So even though I've never seen it, I've heard like the lines you just said. I sat through that whole movie like, where is the famous "You Had Me at the Hello"? I didn't know the "You Complete Me" and all that stuff. I was like, where is the "You Had Me at Hello"? I was like, where is the monumental "You Had Me at Hello" speech? Baby, Tom Cruise came in and gave that speech. I said, that's it. That's it. That's the famous speech. That wasn't the one me back. But you know what was gangster? When he gave his speech and the white lady said, "You Had Me at Hello." I said, okay, now that's smooth. Now that's gangster. Now the "You Had Me at Hello" was fly. But the whole speech that Tom Cruise, I was like, that's it? That's the famous a child. I said, no, child. That wasn't. Uh-uh. I am no big Tom Cruise fan, but the film Maverick was darn good. I've never seen Maverick. I absolutely love Tom Cruise. And it wasn't until recent years. I feel like I always loved Tom Cruise, but I ain't want to admit it. But he has played in some of my all-time favorite movies, whether it's Valkyrie, whether it's Minority Report, whether it's the Mission Impossible franchise, The Firm. I just had to come to I love Tom Cruise. He picks great projects. Okay, the next film is Behind the Mask, The Legend of Leslie Vernon. Lord God, I don't know why I saw this. And I don't even like found footage. This is like a mockumentary found footage style movie about a documentary crew following a serial killer. And that actually sounds interesting, which is why my dumb ass watched it. Y'all, this movie sucked. This movie sucked. I'm gonna put it in. Wish I could go back and have never seen it. Like, there's nothing redeeming for me. What the hell is this movie? Oh, All That We May Destroy. Oh, I saw this on Hulu. All That We May Destroy is a movie about this woman who's like a brilliant scientist or something like that. And her son is a sociopath and he wants to kill women. So what she does is she takes a real human woman, the son kills the woman, and so she keeps like bringing that dead woman back to life over and over and over again, and like giving her a different story and identity so the son can keep killing the girl child. It was crazy. I'm gonna put it and go back on the shelf. I went to finally watch the James Bond movies, and I decided to start with the Daniel Craig movies because I thought since they were the modern movies, I would like them a lot more. This one is Skyfall. Honestly, I can't even tell you story-wise, the difference between Skyfall, Casino Royale, like, I remember the movies, but I can't remember them in correlation to the title, but because they all kind of bled together to me. I do remember, though, Casino Royale was the most boring and the one I hated the most. I was like, is this... I felt like Killmonger. Is this your king? I can't. I really ain't like none of these movies. Skyfall, I'm gonna put down here and wish I could go back. But let me see which one Skyfall was. 'Cause I know it's one where the lady got put in the oil drum. It's one where he playing poker with Vanessa Ives. And it's the one where the girl want to get revenge. I think she got a burn on her back. I just can't think of it in correlation to the title. Let me see which one Skyfall is, child. Oh, this one with Harvey Bardem being real homoerotic. Okay, that's Skyfall. Yeah. You know what? I won't put it in Wish I Could Go Back. I'll put it in Go Back on the Shelf because Harvey Bardem was good. Memories of Murder. Bong Joon-ho film. I hated this movie. This is a very famous movie. It just did not work for me. There is like as much as I love Korean films, there's like a Korean humor that never really works for me, where you have a serious film, but they'll make the character like a bumbling doofus. And it's the weirdest thing to me, and tonally, it just doesn't work for me. Memories of Murder is based on a true story about this serial killer that the cops are trying to get. And the movie opens, and you literally have a serious situation, like a woman is murdered, it's a serial killer, but the cops are like, they're like the Three Stooges, and it was just so off-putting for me. Yeah, and then the end of the movie pissed me off. I didn't know this was a true story when I went to watch it, and they never caught the killer. Stuff like that, I'm sorry, as an audience, that kind of pisses me off. Like, I don't want to see the movie and we never catch the killer. Like, I get it's a true story, but I didn't know that. That's why I've never seen that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal about the Zodiac killer. As much as people rave about that movie, they never caught that person in real life. I don't like to see movies like that. I want a conclusion. I want y'all to catch the person. So I would have never watched this movie if I knew it was based on a true story and they ain't never caught the killer. On a technical scale, it was good, but it just wasn't for me. And I hate to do this to a movie as like beloved as this, but I'm gonna have to put it. I really want to put it in Wish I Could Go Back, and I've never seen it because I feel like I didn't get anything out of this. But I'm gonna just put it down here and go back on the shelf. I won't be completely disrespectful, I guess. I discovered James Bond through the Pierce Brosnan James Bond films. Those were the ones that I was going to go to next after the Daniel Craig movies. I thought starting with the more modern films, I would be able to get into it more, but apparently not. Set It Off. We did a watch along of this. I finally saw Set It Off. And I just did a live yesterday with Sister Girl on Film about Sinners getting all those Oscar nominations and how, I don't know why the hell we still care about the Oscars. Set It Off is a prime example of why I don't take the Oscars seriously, because that should have been an Oscar winner up and down. When I tell you, the opening scene alone in that bank, Vivica Fox, brilliance, literal brilliance. Okay, this should have won Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Directing. Vivica A. Fox should have won award for acting. This movie go hard. I understand why this is an icon classic movie. I'm putting this up, and I was a fool to wait. Top tier. I mean, I bow down to that movie. I was blown away. Vivica Fox is a mother freaking icon. Vivica Fox is a phenomenal actress who didn't have the career she should have had. She should have played the bride instead of Uma Thurman in Kill Bill, but that's neither here nor there. Next, we have the movie from the 80s, the horror film, The Stepfather. I saw the remake during that 2000s millennium period, and I just wanted to see the original finally. It's, the stepdad is this con man. He go from family to family child, getting in with these desperate women, and then he killed family when stuff don't work out right. It was alright. It was alright. I'll put it down here though. Midsommar, finally saw this again. For me, one of those hoity-toity, prestigious horror films that just isn't my cup of tea. The third act is pretty good, but like it was okay. I wasn't crazy about it. I'm gonna put it mid tier. I really, 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 really didn't like the lead girl. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was with the guys. I was like, don't bring her. Don't bring her. She got on my nerve. I'm so sorry. Let It Snow is just a terrible, generic horror movie about a couple who you literally don't care that they die because they literally get every warning possible to not go to this place and they decide to go and you just get whatever comes. They go skiing and get attacked by a madman. I'm gonna put this down here. Wish I could go back and I've never seen it. I finally watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I was massively disappointed. I'm gonna put it down here and go back on the shelf. That very first one with James Franco was so freaking good. We went downhill, and I don't even care to finish the rest of them because I wanted to finish the franchise, but after Dawn, I said, "Nah, I'm good." Bloody Christmas, Bloody Christmas. I really, really wish writers would learn how to write more likable characters. The first like half of this movie is literally painful to get through because of the characters and the dialogue. But once the actual action starts, it is good as hell. It's pretty much the Terminator, but he's Santa Claus. It's so freaking good once we get to that. I'm gonna put it I want to put it up here in Sweet Delight, but God, that first half, I mean, it is painful. Painful. Monster Island is a foreign film about, it's set back during like, I don't know, one of the wars where like the British fought Japan or Korea or something like that, and two soldiers on opposite sides of the war crash land on this island and have to work together because it's like the monster from the Blue Lagoon on the island. This is like a little generic, low budget, but I had fun with this. It was actually pretty enjoyable. I'm gonna put it down here in mid tier. I liked it more than some of the movies in the mid tier, but they're in the mid tier because of quality and technical. This is in mid tier because of enjoyability. I feel like Vivica Fox, man, didn't get her just due. And I just will never respect the Oscars. Sean Connery will make you like Bond, but Moore's Live and Let Die is worth seeing. And see, I didn't want to start with the shot because I was like, I don't know. I just thought I would like the modern films better, but apparently not. Yeah, said I get why that is a classic. Skyfall was a psychological analysis of James Bond. I did like it. The films after that, no. I can't wait to see Primate. I have high hopes. I love a creature feature. And I love movies where like I want to be on the animal side because leave the animals alone. I hope they kill you all. Cause yeah, why do you have a pet monkey? Let them go be animals out in the wild. Logan, I was so surprised how much I liked Logan. And I think I skipped the movie because did I? Oh shoot. Okay, I know I didn't see. So I finally saw all the X-Men movies in 2024. And I saw, how many spin-offs does Wolverine have? I saw one spin-off with Wolverine and Liv Schreiber. It was okay. I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, there's another Wolverine spin-off where he's like in Japan or some Asian country. I haven't seen that. So I think I skipped and jumped to Logan. Logan was good as hell. Oh my God, Logan was good as hell. Put this up in the top tier. And what else do I love? It had a heart to it. I was crying. I cried. I sure did. I cried when I was watching Logan. That movie was, that's a movie. That was good as hell. Oh my God. Escape Plan, The Extractors. This is like the third movie in the Escape Plan Sylvester Stallone franchise. Baby, they're going to keep milking it. Very generic, just lowbrow, low-hanging fruit, child. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I ain't even gonna lie. I love a little generic, like cheesy action film. Like, I don't know, that's my cup of tea. I had a lot of fun with Escape Plan, The Extractors. What did I give this? I know I didn't give it like a 4. I know I ain't go that crazy, child. But I love, the same way I love like B-movie, like horror, I love B-movie action films. Like, it just does something for me, especially when it has like good like fights and stuff, and which this one does. I'll put this up here in Sweet Delight. I ain't gonna lie. Look, is it a great movie? Is the acting very good? Is it well written? No. But they was beating people up. And I had a good time with that. The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Yeah, you know what? Like I said earlier, when you're a film fan, it's some stuff that you gotta just kind of sit through like you're doing homework. Like, The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I said I'm not one for like weird movies. This has to be the Mount Rushmore of weird. This is at the top of the pyramid when it comes to weird movies. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie as weird as this. I mean, y'all, Killing of a Sacred Deer. I don't even know how to say what the movie. Y'all do know how to say what it's about, but it's weird. So you have this little white boy that's like a teen who is like friends with Colin Farrell grown ass because he was the kid, like dad doctor, and the kid and Colin Farrell, they have this weird sexual tension. Like, it's weird. And he like embeds himself into Colin Farrell's like family. I think Nicole Kidman playing his wife? Am I lying? Am I remembering wrong? I think Nicole Kidman played his wife, and he had 2 kids, a son and a daughter. And I think he like dates Colin Farrell's daughter. Y'all, it's just a weird movie. I think there's even a point where the kid, he undresses for Colin Farrell for some reason. I think he was saying it wasn't undressing for a sexual reason. He was like undressing for him as a doctor, but the way the scene, it's weird. But you know what though? I just tried to see another movie with Colin Farrell that's really freaking weird, The Lobster. What I will say is the Colin Farrell that I met who did The Recruit, who did Minority Report, who did Phone Booth and stuff like that, I would have never thought that his career would be where it is now, where he's doing these really weird, abstract, artsy movies, and I love that for him. And you know who I would want to see in that phase of their career? I would really love to see Angela Bassett in a phase of her career like that. Like, you know how Emma Stone does these weird, artsy type of characters in movies? I would love to see Angela Bassett doing some stuff like that. Because I feel like we already know Angela Bassett could act. Angela Bassett did everything under the sun to like prove she's a thespian. And I feel like at this point, I just want to see her do something and like be a character and be somebody in a way we've never seen her before. Like, I would love that. But Killing of a Sacred Deer, this movie was weird. I think the point is for it to be weird. But I'm going to be honest, of all these weird like movies that are acclaimed that I just wanted to see just to like, you know, I enjoyed this more than all. I enjoyed this more than TV Globe, Possum. Like, I actually, y'all, it's so crazy. Like, the movie is so weird. And I was literally uncomfortable the entire movie. But I was so into it at the same time. I'm gonna put this up to the top. I actually like that strange ass movie. Now we have The Gin, When I tell y'all, this movie was like a fever dream for me. So The Gin is a horror movie about this mute kid who ends up locked in his apartment when his dad goes to work, and he's like battling a demon, right? The reason I say this movie was like a fever dream is because I actually went to see this movie a couple years ago. You ever are sleepy and you're like, let me turn a movie on to like lay down to? I went to turn this movie on, and I was like floating in and out of consciousness. I was like falling asleep, waking up. And you know how you go to lay down, like you put the movie on, but you know you're sleepy. So your eyes closed, but you can hear. The movie I heard sounded like a good ass movie. And when I was floating in and out of consciousness, I said, damn, this movie good. I need to watch this movie when I'm up and can watch it. Fast forward a couple years, I finally sit down to actually watch it. I don't know what the hell I thought I heard. I don't know what the hell. For some reason, when I couldn't see the movie and I could only hear the movie, it sounded good as hell. This movie was terrible. This movie was terrible. I'm gonna put it down here and go back on the shelf because I won't say it's not worth the watch. Obviously, whatever is worth the watch is worth the watch to you. I'm just giving my opinion. But I wouldn't say this isn't worth the watch. There's a message to the movie that's very heavy-handed. They just really knock you over the head with this message. Very generic in a bad way, because I just said I like generic. But very, very generic, typical, seen it all before, like horror elements and jump scares, like y'all. Next we have The Wheelman. And when I tell you, I said Tony Todd will accept any check, and that ain't no disrespect. Rest in peace to him. But if you're a horror fan, you know Tony Todd gonna show up in a student film. If you're writing Tony Todd a check, he gonna show up in the most like dumb, low budget, terrible horror movie. Tony Todd gonna take any check. Frank Grillo is number two, and y'all top two, and he ain't number two. Frank Grillo gonna accept any check. Frank Grillo will show up in a top tier, banging, great movie like Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Then he gonna show up in a terrible movie like Werewolves and The Wheelman. He is an actor that you can't trust. I could trust John Berthenel. John Berthenel may not hit a home run every time, but more than likely, you know he picks quality projects. I can't trust Frank Grillo because I don't know what the hell. As long as you writing him a check, he just gonna show up in anything. The Wheelman is about Frank Grillo being a getaway driver. He spends the whole movie in his car because he was supposed to be the wheelman for this heist, but then he get a call telling him to leave the man behind that he was driving, and then he supposed to be bringing somebody. Y'all, whatever. It sucked. It sucked. Did his child get involved? Y'all, it's stupid. It's yeah. I'm gonna put this down here and wish I could go back and have never seen it. Give me my life back. I saw a lot of weird movies. Titane. I just said that Killing of a Sacred Deer has to be at the pinnacle, like the weirdest I've seen. That's a lie. Because I forgot about Titane. Titane got to be the weirdest. This is a weird movie. Titane is like I don't even know how you would classify this. Like a tech noir horror I don't know. So Titane, I don't even know how to say what it's about. It's about a girl, and then she on the run, and she impersonates a kid that had been missing but that would now be an adult, and she living with the kid father pretending to be him or whatever. But y'all, the movie is like, okay, so this is an example of how weird Titane is. The girl I just told you about, she's some kind of sex worker, but I think this is like a futuristic time. So basically, she kind of, I don't know how to explain. She kind of like dance. I guess it's like a stripper, but she's not in a strip club. She's like, I don't know, whatever. The point is, she goes and has sex with the car and gets impregnated by the car. Yeah. When I say weird movie, I wasn't really a fan of this. I thought this was the craziest mess. Now, it wasn't boring. I tell you that. It wasn't boring, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I'm gonna put it down here and go back on the shelf. I'm really curious what I gave this. What did I give Titane? And I mean, it's a on a technical scale, production wise, it's a good movie. You know, like in that sense. And it's a famous movie. A lot of people like this. Oh, I gave this a half star. And I said, my little review says I've never done drugs before, but I imagine this is what it must feel like. Okay, you know what? Then I think I need to put this down here and wish I could go back and have never seen it. And I'm gonna put the Gin down here and wish I could go back and have never seen it. And you know what? Dawn of the Dead too. Why was I being so nice and generous? Yeah, I'll put these down here and wish I could go back. And put the Stepfather down there too. And I wanted to be nice to Bong Joon-ho, but put Memories of Murder down here. And you know what? I gotta change a lot of these because I feel like I was being too nice. The Hunger Games. We're gonna put this down here and wish I could go back. Bottom tier. Drive will stay where it is. They had two real fly scenes, and I think Ron Perlman was in that one too. I love Ron Perlman. All That We May Destroy. You know what? That'll stay where it is. All That We May Destroy ain't good, but it's one of those, if you ain't got nothing better to do on like a random Tuesday, I would turn that on. Now we have Son. This is a horror film about a girl who, as a child, was raised in this cult, and she grows up, she escapes the cult, she's living another like identity with her son. And one night, her son gets attacked, and she tells the cops she think it's like that cult, and they coming after her or whatever. And she ends up, the cops don't believe her. They keep coming trying to kill her son, or take her son, and that's basically the movie. Without giving spoilers, this movie was a piece of crap. A piece of crap. I'm gonna put it down here and wish I could go back and get my life back, child. Blue Ruin. This is a vengeance, revenge tale about this guy whose whole life has been derailed because when he was a child, his father had an affair with a married woman, and to get revenge, the husband of the married woman kills his wife, which is the guy's mom, and it derails his whole life. He's like a homeless person living in his car, and he finally decides to go back home and get revenge and kill the person responsible for his mom. Very, 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 very slow pace, but I really enjoyed the depiction of vengeance here because I don't like movies where you have the protagonist getting revenge, but they're still like a good person, and they won't go too far, and they won't hurt women and children, and they won't hurt, innocent people. I feel like that's not a realistic depiction of revenge. You know how they say, like that saying, if you dig one grave, you might as well dig two, like one for you. Like, I feel like I want a depiction of vengeance that's gritty and dirty and depressive, and I don't know, it has a sense of realism. Like, if you're really consumed with vengeance, to me, like, your heart is dark. Like, you don't see nothing but vengeance. And I feel like this movie did a really, really good job at that depiction. Really good movie. Too slowly paced for my taste, but I did enjoy this. I don't think it sucked. I'm going to put it down here in the mid tier. Now we have True Grit remake. I don't know why that little girl got an Oscar for this. I mean, she could act, but I didn't see Oscar. But this is like a Western style movie where this girl, her dad is unjustly killed, and she wants to hire someone to get the man who killed her dad. I'm not a Western girl. It was okay though. It didn't suck. I didn't hate it. I'm gonna put it in mid tier. Misery. I am not a Stephen King fan. So never cared to get around to this movie, but there are certain classics that you just want to cross off your list. Finally saw Misery. Kathy Bates was phenomenal. It didn't suck. It was okay. It's not really my style. I'll put it mid tier. The Advent Calendar is a Christmas horror film about a disabled girl. She used to be a dancer. She got in a car accident and now she's in a wheelchair, and she gets gifted an Advent calendar for Christmas. But you know how, like, with the Advent calendar, typically, you open each day. Well, hers is like linked to like some kind of demonic thing. So all this like stuff happens, horrific stuff happens. I was very let down. I'm gonna put it and go back on the shelf. Time to Hunt. There is nothing I love more than people hunting people. I don't care how you do it. I love a people hunting people. Like the movie with Charles S. Dutton and Ice-T from the 90s. The Hunt that just came out a couple years ago, the political one. Like, I love movies like that. Time to Hunt is a movie where you have these refugees that are trying to like flee horrible conditions in their country and get into, I think it's Italy, England, one of those countries, not America, but they're trying to like get into a country illegally to flee what's going on in their country. But like, oh, I forgot they call it a coyote when they taking people from Mexico. What do you? It's something you call the people that like you give money to and they like illegally take you. No, you know what? I'm describing the wrong movie. That's not Time to Hunt. That's The Hunted. Okay, let me jump over here to The Hunted because that's what I'm describing. But basically, the ship wrecks and they get rescued by some rich people on a yacht, and they take them to their island. Like, oh, they being all nice. Let's take care of you. Get some food in you. Blah blah blah. We finna hunt y'all like animals and try and kill y'all. So basically, now the refugees are on this island and they're being hunted and they gotta fight for survival. I love stuff like that. This wasn't that good though. It was okay. It is up. If you ain't got nothing better to do with your life, turn it on, get your, a little watch in. I was really, really, really sorely disappointed. And I also feel like as much as I love movies like that, I really want us to find a new angle and something new to do with it and not just the same old thing. Everything with this was just very typical, very predictable. I'm gonna have to put it down at the bottom, go back on the shelf. Um, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, Time to Hunt, which I just mixed up with that. Time to Hunt is an Asian film about these young kids. I'm 40, so anybody that's like early 20s, I say kid. They're not children. They're like 19, 20, 21 kid. They're best friends and they're living in a real like poverty stricken place where the mobster gangster are the only people with money, and they decide to rob the gangster and then proceed to make the dumbest decisions imaginable, which really got on my nerve. But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the friendship and relationship amongst the boys. Um, the movie is good. It's just aggravating because the characters make the dumbest decisions. It's kind of like when you watch a horror movie and the horror characters make the dumbest decisions. Like, it doesn't necessarily ruin the movie, but it's just irksome if that's something that bothers you. But this was actually really good. I'm gonna put it up here in sweet delight. I just really hate that the characters made the dumbest decisions possible. Now we have The Child. This is another foreign film, action film. Oh, what was this one about? The Child. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't remember what this was about. I could see Asian people on the cover, and what was this? Oh, I remember this one. Okay, The Child is a Korean action film where you have this uber rich guy who's about to die, And once he dies, the kids will get the inheritance. Well, kind of find out he has a bastard child. So the kids who want the inheritance, they don't want to split it with the bastard child. So they send a bunch of hitmen and goons after the bastard child to kill him, so only they'll get the inheritance. This was actually pretty freaking good. Dang, I can't believe it's a lot of movies to remember, child. So I didn't forget it because it sucks. I just forgot it because I got a lot of movies right here that I have to remember. This was actually good. The one thing that's going to always hit the spot 9 times out of 10 is a Korean or Japanese action movie. And this hit the spot. It was bloody. It was violent. It had a good story going to it and you feel endeared to that little bastard kid that they're trying to kill. And it was very much where it's like you have this everyday regular person thrust in a situation because he's just living in poverty. He's just like a regular old person. And the kids who dad is finna die, they've, been raised up real rich and stuff like that. They're like in a different, world, classism wise. This was good. I'm gonna put this up here in Sweet Delight. You know what? Get Time to Hunt out of Sweet Delight. I'm gonna put Time to Hunt middle of the road because I don't know why the hell I put that so high. Next we have The Villainess. The Villainess is another Asian action film about this female assassin. Narratively, I thought this movie was pretty convoluted, and honestly, I was a bit confused. I was like, wait, why? Who? What? Like, it wasn't doing it for me narratively with the writing, but this was a good ass action movie. This was a good ass time. I'm gonna put The Villainess up here in Sweet Delight. That was a good time. I find people hunting movies traumatizing. My inner Harriet weeps. I love those kind of movies because you have the person being hunted who rises, and you always have them rise up and fight turn the tables. I like stuff like that. Smugglers, thank you. I couldn't think of it. Smugglers. The actress in True Grit was, yeah. She's the one who, she won an Oscar for True Grit. That's why I was like, I don't know why good actress, but I didn't see Oscar. I guess I would have to see who else she was up against that year. And yeah, I've only ever seen her in Sinners and True Grit as well. Movies about, I love Payback. Damn Mel Gibson for wanting to be a racist because Payback, Ransom, I was gonna say I don't love Mel Gibson. He's not my favorite, but he made some bangers. Yeah, Payback is yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she literally had sex with a car and gets impregnated by the car. Dang, please. Dang, please. FYI, the cold incoming in the northeast coast, we went from 34 degrees an hour ago to 20 degrees now. Well, when I took my dog out before we did this live, it was 16 degrees here in Tennessee. I don't know where it's at now. I'm scared to look because, like I said, I gotta hurry to get out of here because I gotta take my dog out. Oh my God, it's 9 degrees right now. Oh, hell. I gotta take my dog out before I go to bed. Okay, we gotta get through this. We gotta get through these movies. It is 9 degrees. And I got a little 6-pound Chihuahua. She don't do well in cold, child. We have, what is this? What the hell is this? Dangerous Waters. What the fuck is this movie? Oh my God. I know Dangerous Waters. Dangerous Waters had Ray Liotta. Dangerous Waters is a movie for all the only child, the oldest daughters who be telling their mama, I don't like that man you dating, and your mama don't listen to you. We be knowing. So Dangerous Waters is about this girl. Her mom is dating a guy she doesn't really like, but the mom wants her to get along with the guy. So she brings the daughter along for a boat day, and a storm comes. No, a storm didn't come. Did a storm come? I don't know. Something happens. We trapped at sea. Her mama gets killed. She's stranded on an island with the mom's boyfriend, who turns out to be a complete creep, and it's pretty much trying to be sexual with her, and like, hey, and you out in the middle of the ocean, can't nobody help you. So she's able to kind of fight him off, and she goes to get like stuck in the middle of the sea again. She leaves the island where he's at. She thinks she's killed him. She gets rescued, but she's rescued by sex traffickers, and then so she got to fight for her life. This is a real generic, low budget, little shanky movie, but it was fire. I had fun with this. I like the lead girl. The fighting and stuff was good. You know, it's a little unbelievable that this little twiggy girl was able to, you know what I'm saying, fight everybody. But honestly, this was solid. This was solid. I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna put it up here in Sweet Delight. You know what? I had fun with this one. I did. Oh God. Hospital mass. No, what is this? What the fuck is this? It's the Hospital Massacre. Oh, Hospital Massacre. This is one of them 80s horror movies. It was terrible. This lady is lured to the hospital because this guy's trying to kill her. So he puts a fake note like he a doctor saying she need to come to the hospital, have some tests done. So she come in, and then the staff won't let her leave, child, and he keep killing everybody. It's y'all. It's the 80s. It's cheesy. Wish I could get my life back. Next we have Code 8, which is a like action sci-fi movie about a time where like some people have magic powers, some people don't. You have to like register your powers with the government. It's different levels of powers and all kind of stuff. And you can only use it if you have like a, government permission, whatever. And this one guy, mom, is sick because along with having these powers, it can kind of like do something to you. And his mom is like dying and he can't pay for her care. So he decides to illegally use his power to help these bad guys or whatever. So it's like a little action movie. It was okay. I'm gonna put it in Sweet Suffering. I still need to see the sequel. Dead Presidents. I finally saw Dead Presidents. Honestly, not my cup of tea. The famous scene where they do the robbery and have their face painted, that was fly as hell, but we weren't smart. The ending was pretty sad with everything that happened and with the court and all that stuff, but well-made movie, great performances. It's just not for me, but on a technical scale, I'm gonna put it middle of the road with all the other ones that I feel like are great technically, and the type of movies that if you're a film fan, I think you should watch at least once. Crawlers, stupid, old school horror movie. Carrie, another Stephen King movie. I finally saw Carrie. We need to get men out of here. The film industry is dominated by men. We got to get them from behind the camera, because the opening of Carrie, I was about to cut it off because I said I was a girl. I was in girl locker room. This was not a realistic depiction of a teenage girl's locker room. This was a male fantasy depiction of a teenage girl's locker room. And that may be petty, but it irked my nerve the way the movie opened. Like, it irked my nerves so bad. Not my cup of tea. I expected the big grand finale at the prom to be way more like, I thought we were finna really get some carnage. I thought it was gonna be like the big, party in Wishmaster, like real gory, over the top. It wasn't. But the movie didn't suck. It was okay. Again, middle of the road. One of those movies that technically sound, if you're a film fan, horror fan, I think it's worth watching, but I personally didn't get a lot of enjoyment out of. Old Boy. This is an Asian film about revenge where this guy is suddenly held captive for years in this room, like 30 years or something. Then he's let go and he's trying to figure out who held him captive. There is one amazing fight scene where he's fighting in this little cramped hallway. One of him fighting like 30 people. It was good as hell. Hated this movie. This is another movie that I would consider very weird. Like, there's a scene, to give you an example, of like a giant ant, spider, some kind of bug. The movie was weird to me. It wasn't my cup of tea. I actually really didn't like this movie. And it's like a revenge movie. What I did like, I liked, but I was like, this is crazy. It's literally the pettiest reason you could get revenge. The pettiest reason you could get revenge. I was like, that was the reason? But this wasn't for me. And when I say weird, I can't even really get into it because it's spoiler weird. Like I felt uncomfortable. Honestly, I really want to put it in the bottom. Give me my life back. But that hallway scene was bomb as hell. And I think it was a single take. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it and go back on the shelf. Oh, I ain't gonna put it all the way to the bottom. Lonely Place to Die. This is one of those B movie, low tier type of movies that I said I really like. You have a group of friends who are out in the wilderness going, what do you call it? Mountain climbing. They come across a little girl being held captive in this hole. They decide to rescue her, but the people that held her captive are now trying to kill all of them off, but they're trying to, save the little girl. So another fight for your life kind of movie. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but I really enjoyed it and had fun with it. I definitely think it's worth the watch. It was some real good stuff here. Actually, some real good acting. If I'm not mistaken, my baby from the Mission Impossible villain that I said was in Possum, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the villains here, if I remember correctly. I'm going to put it mid-tier. Edge of Darkness with who we were just talking about. My mind just blanked. What is this man's name? Oh, what is his name? We was just talking about him. And Mel Gibson. Jesus Christ, my mind blank. Mel Gibson, Edge of Darkness. This is a movie where kind of like a crime thriller type of movie where his daughter gets murdered and he's trying to solve the case. It was okay. It didn't suck. I'll put this middle of the road. It's worth the watch. I got enjoyment. Quantum of Solace. This is the one, the Daniel Craig Bond movie where the girl had to burn on her back. I think I enjoyed this more than all of the James Bond Daniel Craig movies I saw, but that ain't saying much because it wasn't very good. But I enjoyed it the most. I think I really like the girl. I really don't get the hype. I don't know why everybody want to sleep with James Bond. I don't know why everybody want to sleep with Daniel Craig. Child, he just walk in a room and panties drop. I don't get it. But this was my favorite of all of them. The Casino Royale. What was the other one? Skyfall, Quantum of Solace. I think it's only those three. Quantum of Solace was my favorite. It opens with what I thought was a really good chase scene with James Bond and somebody. But I mean, it ain't saying much because I mean, it wasn't very great. I think I gave this like a 2, maybe a 1.5. Yeah, I'm gonna put it down here. And that's probably why I'm gonna put all of his Bond movies. Parasite. Finally saw Parasite by Bong Joon-ho, and I just knew this wasn't going to be my cup of tea. But again, when there's a movie that's very hyped, I just want to see it for myself. Very pleasantly surprised. I actually really enjoyed Parasite. It's about classism, and you have this poor family that wiggles, their way in with this rich family. Really, really good. Man. Wish I would have never saw this. Give me my life back. This is like one of those, I don't know if it's A24, but it's one of those A24 style hoity-toity horror movies where this woman who is in an abusive relationship goes to this cottage to kind of get secluded and by herself, and it's written by a man, commentary on men. Like, I don't know how that happened, but whatever the hell, chat. I really didn't like this movie. I do like having that one actor play all the men in the town. I thought that was really cool. What I didn't like and what I felt like the filmmakers were very, very tone deaf to, and why you need a diverse crew and people, the only black actor in the whole movie is violent and abusive. And I was just like, okay. Boys in the Hood. Finally saw Boys in the Hood. This was a masterpiece. I get why it is a classic. I was just gonna put it all the way to the top, but I'll probably never see it again. It's not like my cup of tea, but I get why it's a masterpiece and a classic. So still putting it at the top. Milk and Cereal. Very pleasantly surprised by this. Milk and Cereal is a low budget found footage movie. I hate found footage, but I heard a lot of people raving about it, and I heard that the filmmaker made it on like $800, and I was like, how you do that? Well, apparently you do that because you don't pay none of the actors. You just get a bunch of your friends, child. But I was thoroughly entertained. So this literally has all the aspects of something I don't like. It's found footage. It's like a YouTube mockumentary where you have these YouTube pranksters Y'all, this was good as hell. Phenomenal performances. Creepy as hell performances. Yeah, this was a good one. I'm going to put it up here in Sweet Delight. I had a lot of fun with this. Why is my computer moving slow all of a sudden? Why is there a comment on my screen? I didn't do that. How long has that comment been sitting on the screen? Okay, next we have The Good Son. Saw this crap because of Tyra. 90s film about a kid killing people, child. You know what? You can give me my life back. You can give me my time back. Leprechaun 2. Give me my life and my time back. I don't know why all them Leprechaun movies went downhill because I really liked the first one. As a matter of fact, let me just find all the Leprechaun movies and put them all down here at the bottom. Leprechaun 3. Leprechaun in the Hood. We did a big marathon watch along of the Leprechaun movies. That's how I saw them. I hate all three of those. The first one is the only one I like. Crimson Tide. Was this Gene Hackman? I think this was Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington. Classic movie from I think like 1995, somewhere in the mid 90s. That I just not got around to seeing. I actually remember my mother had Crimson Tide on VHS, but I never watched it. It just didn't feel like my cup of tea. This was good as hell. Oh my God. I don't know how I was so late to the Denzel train. I wasn't a Denzel fan until that Millennium Run. This was a masterclass in acting. And I saw so many actors in here that I know and love. Yeah, Crimson Tide was tense as hell, good as hell. Yeah, believe the hype. That one was good. I don't know why the hell I saw this movie. I don't even like Chris Rock. Bad Company. I don't know what Anthony Perkins was doing here. He must have lost a bet. But there was two movies like this that are basically the same. One had Jamie Foxx. One had Chris Rock. But in Bad Company, Chris Rock was like adopted or something, or grew up in a foster home, but come to find out he had a twin. The twin was a secret agent who was killed, and so now the government want to get the twin to like impersonate him. Child, this movie can go to hell. The Siege. The Siege is an 80s action thriller that was real hard for me to get through. I actually pulled the DNF the first time because it's about some homophobic people who go into a gay bar. Like, if you homophobic, why is you in the gay bar and attack and kill the gay people? And one person manages to escape, and they go to hunt him down. He runs to this apartment building, and it's pretty much the gay people are like under siege on them. Oh, and I mean, not the gay people, the homophobic people are under siege on them. And the reason the gay people can run amok is because there's some kind of strike happening, so it's no cops, it's no police, it's nobody to help. I actually really enjoyed this. Once I was, because that first part was so brutal, like I couldn't take it. I cut the movie off. And I think it's very elongated. I think it's like the first 30 minutes that we're in the bar watching them brutalize these gay people. That was real hard for me to stomach. But once I got past that, it was, like I said 100 times with other movies, it was right up my alley. Trap, Fighting for Your Life. This was good. I'm going to put it mid-tier. And then we have Strange Land. I think this was like a 90s thriller about like, was it about this internet serial killer? And he targets the cop's daughter? Is that what this was? Let me see. Strange Land. Well, I think I saw this on Tubi. Yeah, 1998 body horror, slasher horror thrill. Oh, this ain't nothing what a detective pursues a sadistic sadist specializing in body modification rituals who lures teens through the internet. Okay, so I was thinking of the right thing. Okay. I didn't really care for this. What did I rate this? I feel like I gave it something pretty low. It was like very cheesy fodder. I gave it I'm surprised I gave it a 2. I'll put it mid-tier. Apparently I got some kind of enjoyment out of it. Tao. This is a movie where I think I pronounced that right, Tau, where you have this like brilliant person who's doing experiments on people. He's living in like this smart house. He's holding people hostage, and I think a few people escape, but then they get killed by the smart house, and the only person left is this girl, and his lab is destroyed, so he's holding her captive in his house, in his smart house. So, but by the end, after these experiments, he's going to kill her. So she's trying to figure out how to like play him and escape. Yeah, this was crap. I'm gonna put it down here and wish I could get my time back. Society, 80s body horror. I thought this movie sucked, and then we got to the end, and I was singing its praises. As a lifelong horror fan, it is very, very rare to be watching a movie and say, I ain't never seen no like this before. I ain't never seen no like this before. That third act saved the movie. I'm gonna have to put it mid-tier because the movie sucked, but that third act was phenomenal. Wait, did Gene Hackman die? I don't know why that comment was up there. Yes, all please hit the like button and all the good things. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Equalizer. Next, we have Casino Royale. This was the one I hated the most, but like I said, I'm gonna put all of them in the go back on the shelf tier together. I thought Casino Royale was boring as hell. I finally saw the Avengers movies, and you know what? I'm about to put them all together. I really didn't care for them. I'm gonna put them and go back on the shelf. The Avengers can go back on the shelf. Iron Man 2. Oh, I think that's one Mickey Rourke. Go back on the shelf. Avengers. Which Avengers is this? Infinity Stones. Oh, that's the one with the I am inevitability. I am Iron Man. But still, that can go back on the shelf. Doctor Strange, wasn't a fan. That can go back on the shelf. Didn't even finish his spin-off movies. Where's the rest of them? Iron Man. Iron Man was good. I'll put that mid tier. I'll probably never see it again. Where's the rest of them? I know it's some more of these. Guardians of the Galaxy. I was actually pleasantly surprised with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna put that mid tier. I had a lot of fun with that. I couldn't believe it. I know there's got to be one. Well, here it is. Avengers: Age of Ultron. I'm gonna put that mid tier. I had fun with that one. I like that one a lot better than Infinity Stone. Am I mixing? Yeah, Infinity Stone was a very. Wasn't Infinity Stone? Okay, I hope I'm not mixing them up. Infinity Stone, I think, was the very, very last one. That was the I am inevitability. I am Iron Man. That's when we come back after everybody disappeared. I didn't care for that one, but Age of Ultron, that one was good. I like that one. Eden Lake. This is a very bleak horror movie that I've heard tons about. As far as like, oh, it's so bleak, it's so dark. Oh my god. It is bleak. It is dark. I wasn't the biggest fan, but it was solid. I'm gonna put it mid tier. Clown. This is a horror movie about a guy who puts on a clown mask and he can't take it off, and he slowly turns into a clown. I'm gonna put that mid tier. The hell is this? Oh, it's like an Avengers movie. What the hell is this? What is this cover art? It looks like Avengers, but I can't tell what it is. But I'm gonna just put it down here with all the other Avengers movies, child. Juror number 2. This was actually really solid. I'm gonna put this mid tier. Directed by Clint Eastwood, allegedly racist Clint Eastwood. Steel Trap. Oh, this was terrible. God, I was looking for a New Year's Eve centered horror film. You got this group that's at this New Year's Eve party at this building, and then they suddenly decide to go on a different floor that's kind of vacant, but it's like a house of horrors, and they getting killed. Child, it was terrible. The Last Matinee, this was a real disappointment because it kind of gave me the vibes of one of my favorite horror films, Demons from the 80s, where they were trapped in that movie theater. Last Matinee, they're trapped in a movie theater getting killed off. 80s vibes. Like, it really was giving me that, but I didn't, I'll put it mid tier. I was pretty disappointed with it, but I guess solid enough. Baby Blood. This is a Spanish horror film about a woman who gets pregnant and her baby is telling her to kill people and it wants blood. Um, this was it was kind of kooky, dated, but I'm gonna put it mid tier. It didn't suck. Wait Until Dark. Something else Tyra got me to watch. A movie from the 60s that I really didn't like, except for the villain. Anora. The proverbial, everybody raving about it, watch. This didn't suck, honestly. I'm going to put it mid tier. I do like Mikey Madison. I don't think she needed to win no Oscar. The Joker sequel. I went to watch this sequel, and I swear to God, the beginning of the movie, I was like, why everybody hate this movie? This is pretty solid. And then it went very much the hell downhill fast. That can go back on the shelf. Harry Potter. I wanted to finally see these movies, and I gave up after the second one. I'm going to go back, though. So, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter, the first two. Let me go get the other one. Where's the other Harry Potter movie? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna put them both and go back on the shelf. I mean, I understand they're kids, but the movies was way more, I guess they were just very juvenile. I wasn't into it. Miss Bala with America Ferrera, where her and her friend are in this club when it gets shot up by gangsters. Her friend is kidnapped or something, and she ends up working with the gangsters trying to get her friend. A little action movie. It was all right. If you ain't got nothing better to do with your life. The Tomorrow War. I don't care for Chris Pine, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I actually really liked the Tomorrow War. I'm gonna put that mid tier. Starry Eyes. This was like a weird one. It was okay. It's pretty much the proverbial. This girl want to be famous, and the powers that be who can hire her for the role. It's like this sex cult, weird, I don't know, demonic stuff. Yeah, it I don't know, well made movie, but it just isn't for me. Time Lapse, the typical like time loop type of movie where these kids find a machine where I think you take a picture or something and it tells you like the future or whatever. It was okay. I'm put that mid tier. Jason Bourne. Finally saw this. I'm not a fan of the Bourne movies. And I don't know where. I guess I saw the other ones in 2024 because I finally saw the entire Bourne franchise minus the one with Jeremy Renner, but it looks like I only saw Jason Bourne in 2025, so I must have saw the rest of them in 2024. Rambo First Blood. I know I saw this as a little kid, but I consider it a first time watch because I didn't remember anything. This was really solid. I'm gonna put it up here at the top if I can scroll. I'm gonna put it in Sweet Delight. This was really good. Homefront. Jason Statham doing the same thing Jason Statham gonna always do in the movie, but this was really good. He's like an ex-DA agent or something, and he moves to a small town with his daughter and ends up going against like these drug lord whatever. I'm gonna put that up here in Sweet Delight. That was really good. Dark Knight Rises. The only Batman movie I ever seen was The Dark Knight. Love it. I didn't care for Dark Knight Rises. I hated Bane's voice. It irked my nerve, and I just didn't care for the movie, child. And it was very obvious what happens with the lady. It was very obvious. The Informer. This is about a guy who ends up working with the cops to go into like with the bad guys, but something happens and he ends up like going to jail trying to get information for the cops, and they decide to like leave him for dead, and it's like a real crazy type thing going on where he working with the cops, but then another cop is coming after him, and then they be like, man, let's cut our losses, and we promised him we get him out of jail, but F him. Very, very tense, very tense. This was good. If I can scroll, I'm gonna put it up here in Sweet Delight. Skinwalkers. This is a real generic werewolf movie where we're living in this small town and werewolves come to get this little boy because he don't know his daddy a werewolf. And the werewolves want to kill him for some reason I cannot remember. But I mean, if you ain't got nothing better to do with your life, just a little generic werewolf movie. It didn't suck. It's kind of like watching a Tubi movie. Like, you know what you're signing up for. It was just a little low-level movie. Lord of the Rings. I finally saw the first one, and it was better than I thought it would be. I really just like Viggo Mortensen, but I'll put that mid-tier. Black Widow. This movie is a mess, but I had fun. I'm going to put it mid-tier. Oh, I saw 2 Doctor Strange movies? Oh, because it's Doctor Strange and it's Doctor Strange the Multiverse. Yeah, I didn't. I'll put this down here. I didn't. You know what? Just put it up here. Go back on the shelf. In Flight is it's just a little generic movie about this lady. She on the flight, mayhem ensues, but then the movie get real convoluted and try to do all kind of stuff. Childish, just foolish. Rec 3 Genesis is the type of movie I should have really enjoyed. It's just a dumb little low budget movie, but there's a ton of gore and a ton of action. But I hated this movie. I ain't have no fun with it. The Painted, another just generic horror movie. We're gonna put that back on the shelf. The Hollow. The Hollow is a generic horror movie, but I got some enjoyment out of that. I'm gonna put that mid tier. London Has Fallen. I love all of these damn Gerard Butler Has Fallen movies. Olympus Has Fallen. Angel Has Fallen. I finally saw London Has Fallen. I'm gonna put that. You know what? I'm gonna put that up here. Sweet Delight. I had fun with that stupid movie. Taxi Driver, another classic I finally got around to seeing. Not my cup of tea, but well-made movie. I'm gonna put it mid-tier. The Unholy. I think this was a horror movie about with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's like a reporter. This town has this girl in the church that they say is like Mother Mary, or she curing, I don't know, she doing miracles and stuff, but of course you know it's the devil. That can go back on the shelf. I mean, just a little generic horror movie. Iron Man 3. I hated this movie. Wish I could get my time back. The Avengers Civil War. It was okay. I don't know how the hell them Avengers supposed to be a team. They don't even like each other. Child. They ain't never like each other. The Nightingale. The Nightingale. I saw that in 25. Why did I think I saw that in January? I guess I must have saw it at the end of 25. The Nightingale. I watched this on Hulu, and this is the type of movie I hate to watch. Would never watch. I always say I don't watch anything with a grape scene, with the essay scene, and this has it. But I saw the filmmaker talking about how Australia doesn't like to talk about its history of colonism and what it did to natives, and so and what it did to women. So she wanted to make a movie about it. And that made me want to see it. So basically, they used to have something where over there, if you did a crime, like the men went to the prison, right? But men got mad because the prison was full of men and wasn't no women. They was like, well, why y'all ain't locking the women up? So what they started to do was arrest women for real petty stuff and put them in this prison. So basically, you steal a pair of shoes, you got to go to this horrid prison full of like violent men. But since you're a woman in a prison full of men, you couldn't really be in the prison, so you would have to be in like solitary confinement. So then what they would do is they would make you a ward of a man you don't even know. And you can finally be a free person once that man declares that you can go be free. So y'all know how that works. You got men in power and control over women they don't even know. So what you think that breeds? essay. So you have this young girl who's maybe like 21, 22. She was on her own. She stole food because she was poor and starving and got sent to this prison as like a 12, 13-year-old, something like that. And it's under this man's charge, like I just said. And of course he been assaulting a poor girl. And now she's married. She has a new baby. And her husband is like, she should be free. She did her time. Because it's like you get sentenced to 4 years, but the person that's in charge over you can do whatever the hell they want and just free you whenever the hell they want, child. And so she goes to tell, ask the guy for her freedom, and of course he just assaults her. So her husband, basically, like I always say, child, men emotional as hell. They love to have the propaganda that men are logical and women are emotional. Her husband became very emotional and doomed them all. And so she spends the movie on a revenge mission. And then you have the native people that are, black skinned natives, but they're over there. And of course, the white people come in and be like, y'all natives and y'all savages, and we finna take over and teach you how to be like the white man. So he's also disparaged and down and stuff like that. So the natives, since this is their land that the white people came and stole, they know the terrain, and the white people will use them to like guide them through, the wilderness and stuff. And so the white lady gets him to help her. And I like the correlation of how she's racist towards him and thinks he's a savage because of what's been perpetuated. And they both kind of learn that, like, he don't like her, to me, for just reason, because the white people came and did what they did, so now he don't like white people. But they both learned that they hate each other, but they don't even know each other. They basically hate each other because, well, she kind of hate him because of like stereotypes and what has been perpetuated, not realizing she's hating him for the same reason that the white people there hate her, because she wasn't Australian. She was Irish. She was Irish. So she was like, don't compare me to, the Australian people. I'm Irish. Like, we did, no, England people here came over. But anyway, very sad, very tragic. There's a couple of essay scenes. She gets essayed a couple of times by a bunch of different men, and then this native black lady gets essay. Like, it's a very, very hard watch. It's the type of movie I typically never watch, but this was a phenomenal movie. But if you're like me, expect to cry, expect for it to be a very hard watch, but it's very well written. And I do like what the filmmaker said, because oftentimes when it's movies like this, one of the reasons I don't watch them is I'm always like, well, who is this for? Like, why would people want to see this? But I like what she said about how, like, Australia tries to, like, they don't learn about it in school. Like, they try to just completely erase the history. So she wanted to make a movie about it, and she did a lot of historical research about, like, and I'm like, how bad could it, and she even said, she was like, how bad could it have been for these women that they would literally go commit another crime so they could go to that prison? Like, they'd rather be in that prison with all those savage men and in solitary confinement than to be free but the ward of a man. Like, that tells you how bad it must have been for them. And then she was also talking about, like what they did to the natives, that was the black, skinned natives that was already on the land and stuff like that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful film. Beautiful film. But it is just it's so sad. But I hate watching movies like this. Movies like this are not good for me because I end up being like, I hate men and I hate white people. Like, that's what happens when I watch movies like, y'all, it was so hard watching this because I literally was. And this is one of those movies, it's a revenge tale. And I love a revenge tale. And what I love, like Edge of Darkness, I felt like that was a revenge tale. And you spend the movie waiting for people to get their comeuppance. And it's like, sweet. It's like, yes, they got their comeuppance. But a movie like this, you going through the movie watching these people be the most vile people. And it's like, there's no comeuppance good enough. So to me, you don't get that cathartic moment at the end that you get from most revenge movies, where you finally get to the end and the person finally gets revenge and it's like, yes, we can cheer. It wasn't like you end the movie fucking depressed. Like, I ended the movie depressed. Like, I hate watching stuff like this. But it was good. It was really, really good. But those are all of my movies that I finally got around to watching in 2025, and I'm off to a good start for 2026. I done got some first time watches in, so I'll be so hyped to see what new stuff I get to this year, and if there's any recommendations for some of them classic movies that I should get around to, let me know. I do want to finish. And finally, I saw the very first Lord of the Rings. I do want to finish that franchise. I saw the first 2 Harry Potter. I do want to finish that franchise. I'm trying to think if it's other franchises that I need to watch that I haven't gotten into yet. I would have to really think. The assault scene in Nightingale was hard to watch, but I did enjoy the film. Can never touch it again. Never again. Never again. Never again. Even today, Aussie are hyper masculine. I can't watch any Harry Potter movie after Prisoner of Azkaban because everyone starts dying off. Well, why is you giving me spoilers? God damn, Danny, I ain't seen none of the movies, and now I don't even know if I want to see them since you done told me everybody goddamn die. Gene and his wife passed away last summer, I think. Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember at all. But thank you guys so much for being here, for supporting the live. This was 2 goddamn hours. I was not supposed to be here that long. Now I'm gonna have to literally put on 100 layers on me and my dog and bundle up and go out in this 9-degree weather so she can do her business for the night. And then I'll be in the warmth. It is 9 degrees outside. My God. So if you have the winter storm coming your way, stay safe, but don't panic. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.